This is Bruce Reynolds. Bruce has a problem. He likes expensive cars. He likes nice suits. He likes the good life. But Bruce does not have enough money. That is sad for Bruce. He does not want a job. He wants to get rich fast. So he looks for a big opportunity. One day, Bruce gets information about a special train. It is a Royal Mail train. This train travels from Scotland to London. Usually, it carries letters and postcards. But on this train, there is something else. It is carrying old money to the bank. Millions of pounds. Bruce's eyes get very big. He thinks, I want that money. But stopping a fast train is hard. It is dangerous. Bruce cannot do it alone. If he stands in front of the train, he will get hurt. That is a bad idea. So Bruce needs help. He talks to his friends in the criminal world. He finds a driver. He finds a strong man. He finds a man who knows about electricity. Soon, Bruce has a team of 15 men. 15! That is a lot of people for one robbery. They meet in secret. Bruce tells them the plan. He says, we will not use guns. We will use our brains. We will trick the train driver. The men listen carefully. They smile. They are ready to be rich. They get their trucks and their masks. They drive to a quiet place near the train tracks. It is the middle of the night. It is very dark. They wait for the train lights to appear. The train comes down the track. It is moving fast. The driver looks out the window. Usually, the signal light is green. Green means go. But tonight, something is wrong. Bruce's team climbs up the signal pole. They cover the green light with an old glove. Then they use a battery to turn on the red light. Now the signal is red. Red means stop. The train driver sees the red light. He is surprised. That is strange, he thinks. Why is there a red light here? But he follows the rules. He hits the brakes. The big train stops. It stops in the middle of nowhere. It is very quiet. There are no houses. There are no police stations. Just the dark night and the robbers. Suddenly, the 15 men jump out. They wear scary masks. They run to the front of the train. They grab the driver. "Don't move!" they shout. The driver is scared. He looks at the 15 strong men. He does not fight. That is a smart choice. Now the robbers want the prize. They run to the second car of the train. They break the door open. Inside, they see piles of bags. These are not trash bags. They are full of cash. The men form a long line. They pass the bags from the train to their trucks. 1 bag, 2 bags, 10 bags. The bags are very heavy. The men are sweating, but they smile. They work very fast. In total, they steal 120 bags. They throw them into their trucks. They have 2.6 million pounds. Today, that is worth over 50 million pounds. It is a huge amount of money. "Let's go!" Bruce shouts. They jump into their vehicles. They drive away fast. But they cannot go home yet. The police will wake up soon. The robbers need a secret place to hide. Luckily, they have a plan for that. The trucks drove to a quiet farm nearby. It was called Leatherslade Farm. The robbers bought this farm weeks ago. It was the perfect hiding place. They drove the trucks into the garage. They closed the doors. Finally, they were safe. They opened the bags and dumped the money on the floor. It was a mountain of cash. The men were very happy. They laughed and hugged each other. "We are the kings of the world!" they shouted. But now they had to count the money. It was a boring job. There were millions of notes. They counted for hours and hours. Their fingers got tired. They needed a break. So they looked around the farmhouse. They found a board game. It was Monopoly. This is a game about buying houses and making money. It was very funny. The robbers sat at the table. They played Monopoly. But they did not use the fake paper money from the game. They used the real stolen money. They played for a long time. They felt smart and powerful. But the fun did not last long. They turned on the radio to listen to the news. The report was scary. The police were very angry. They were searching every house near the train tracks. The police were getting closer to the farm. The robbers stopped laughing. Their faces turned pale. "This is bad," Bruce said. "We cannot stay here." They had to leave immediately. They divided the money into smaller bags. Then they tried to clean the house. They wiped the tables and the chairs. They wanted to remove their fingerprints. Fingerprints are the marks from your fingers. Police use them to identify people. The robbers worked fast. They thought they cleaned everything. They jumped into different cars and drove away. They escaped before the police arrived. But in their panic, they made a huge mistake. A very silly mistake. They left the Monopoly game on the table, and they forgot to wipe it. A few days later, a neighbor called the police. He said, "There is a strange truck at the farm." The police drove to Leatherslade Farm quickly. They approached the house carefully. But it was too late. The birds had flown. The house was empty. The officers walked inside. They looked around. They found empty food bags. They found sleeping bags. And they found empty mail bags from the train. "This is the place," the police chief said. They looked for clues. Clues are things that help solve a puzzle. The robbers tried to clean the house. There were no fingerprints on the tables. There were no fingerprints on the chairs. But then an officer looked at the table. He saw the Monopoly box. The robbers forgot to clean it. The police checked the game board and the dice. They found many clear fingerprints. The robbers played the game with their bare hands. Oops! That was a terrible mistake. The police took the fingerprints back to the station. They checked their files. Soon they had a list of names. They knew exactly who the robbers were. The great hunt began. The police looked everywhere for Bruce and his team. One by one, the police found them. Some men were hiding in London. Some were hiding in other cities. It took some time, but the police caught 12 of the 15 men. They put them in handcuffs. The fun was over. The robbers went to court. The judge was very strict. He did not think the robbery was funny. He looked at the men and said, "You are going to prison for 30 years." The men were shocked. 30 years is a very long time. They wanted to be rich and free. Instead, they became famous for a board game and a jail cell.